get into our next match. We're on Oceanborn for game number 1. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner, we have Navi's Spirit in the red. His opponent in the upper left, representing Blazer, it's Krystianer. Is he still with Blazer after all these years? That's crazy. I like that Team Blazer. I had to look it up just to double check, man. It's been so long I've been casting Krystianer that I'm like surprised he's still on the same team. Krystianer and I, we go way back. Back when I first started running my own tournament, which was sponsored by OSC, not only with points, but also with money. And ran that for a long time, the Cock of the Walk. Krystianer, of the like 105 Cock of the Walks I ran, Krystianer won, I think, 33 of them. Basically a third of the total weeklies that I ran, which is a crazy amount. But he would play pretty much every single week. So, you know, I appreciate my man Krystianer. I hope one day I'll get to actually meet him at an event. But, you know, it's tough to get the polls out to the North American events. Maybe if I was going to Katowice, I could meet him. No, there's no yeehaw command here. No yeehaw command in this chat. You just have to spend your channel points at a time when I am ready to yeehaw for you. You only get live yeehaws in this channel. No recorded yeehaws here. I'm 22 nugs away from purchasing my first yeehaw for my son. My son ain't never heard a yeehaw in his life, and I'm going to get him a yeehaw today. I'm so proud of you, Tread 43. So happy for your son. He might get to experience a yee and a haw. Oh my God, speaking of which, we got one coming in right now. Let me play with your kitties. First of all, an excellent Twitch name, if I do say so myself. Coming in to redeem the yeehaw. So I'm going to go ahead and give that to you here in just a moment. Well, I got to get the hat on. It ain't the same without the hat, and I know y'all can't see the hat, but you'll be able to feel the difference. Let me play with your kitties. This one's for you. That's going to be a big old yeehaw coming right on in. Thank you so much for that redemption. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Like I said, only real live yeehaws here. It's 9:30 at night, so my neighbors might hate me a little bit, but that's all right. That's quite all right. Now let me talk about this game here a little bit. It looks like we got Spirit going for a little 3 racks action. He's going to have a lot of units out pretty quickly. It's going to be important because he's going to have to deal with Krystianer going for what looks to be a 4-gate blink. He laughed and said it was so cool. I hope we get little yeehaws out there from Little Tread 43. I want to hear yeehaws from everybody. Got to practice them yeehaws. You know, it takes a lot of practice to be able to do an appropriate yee and an appropriate haw. Got to work on them. All right, I don't think I need to cast the rest of the game like that. Sometimes it's all right. Krystianer going for a 3rd base, so even though he does have 4 gates, he's got blink, he's got a prism on the way, he's going to be able to put some pressure on. Maybe he's getting the vibe that he's not going to be able to just straight up end the game, so instead he's going to poke with some of these stalkers. Ooh, Spirit, though, is sieged up in the middle of the map. Krystianer getting surprised here, loses a stalker, does pick the other 3 up, but gets caught a little bit off guard. Needs to be careful with the Cyclone here. That's going to lock onto that Warp Prism. Cyclone will go down before the Stalkers get lifted up and brought away. More Stalkers getting warped in here. They're just trying to delay this push, poke and prod at this army, but the boys are coming. Spirit does not have a third command center, and he's ready to sacrifice some of his SCVs here. He ran out of Marines, it seems, and the SCVs are coming on the front lines. Combat shields is now done. Now there's no healing for these Marines, so any damage that Krystianer can do here on the way back home is going to be good. Shield batteries, no shield batteries. Who needs them? A blink forward. Krystianer is kind of crazy. He's going to kill one of the tanks, but the other one does stay alive. The Immortal pops, and that's going to take the siege tank out before getting lifted up in the prism. There's no stim on these Marines, so they can't catch up to that prism at all. There's not a big amount of punish here, but it is a lot of DPS. Krystianer, though, he's going to try to get on top of this. The Zealots on the front lines, the Stalkers blinking back, the hot pickup of the Immortal. Another siege tank shows up, but, ooh, okay, it's going to siege up. It's going to siege up. 10 SCVs went down. Spirit has basically nothing behind this. He's got to get critical damage here. He did depower all of this, but that's not enough on its own. The Immortal should have its shields back up. Spirit trying to body block for his siege tank. The Marines do still output a lot of DPS even without stim. Oh, no high ground vision. The probe's trying to show the lack of high ground vision as the Stalkers blink forward. Good focus fire from Spirit. Takes down the 2 low Stalkers. But the Stalkers do pick off the tank. They're going to pick off a lot of these Marines, just trying to get the reinforcements, keep the Marine count low, but also look at him pulling back the entirety of this army. Meanwhile, SCVs, where are they even going? They're just running across the map willy-nilly. Krystianer, I think he's handling this beautifully, doing a fantastic job with these Blink Stalkers. Not just trying to take a frontal fight, but instead picking this army apart as much as he can. The SCV's not here with this, meaning this tank can't get healed up right now. Spirit's starting to put down a bunker, but now the Stalkers, they're picking these Marines off. The tank will siege up. They're going to alternate sieging. Oh, Krystianer going to dive on this, though. He's going to take down the sieged up tank before focusing down the unsieged one, but he's going to lose most of his Stalkers doing that. And suddenly, Krystianer in a little bit of trouble. If this bunker finishes, that's going to be even more dicey, but he's got 3 shield batteries finishing up. He's going to turn the overcharge on and go take a fight, trying to stay in range of it. Oh, that tank is not going to help out too much against this. The Marines without stim, I don't think they can gun through this. They'll take down the Warp Prism. That's a lot of DPS not on this army, but hold the phone. They take out the Immortal. They take out one of the Stalkers. The other 3 are trying desperately to hold on. This bunker just barely didn't finish. And I think with Warp Ins, Krystianer should be okay here. And he's going to force the cancel on these bunkers, push away these Marines. Spirit, he's got another group of units here, but he's going to tap out with the GG as Krystianer holds the 2 base all in. He, like, just barely. But picking apart that army, getting those reinforcements, keeping the tank count low. I think the crucial thing at the end there, though, is stopping those bunkers from getting up. I don't know if he focus fired the SCVs, because there was like 3 or 4 there trying to get bunkers up. The fact that none of those, especially that first one, got up is actually insane and so critical there for Krystianer to stop that push from actually getting the damage done it needed to. Great hold from Krystianer. Really sick blink micro. Yeah, what a game. I mean, that's a hard push to hold, and it's not like Krystianer had a lot to work with. Initially, it was like 4 Stalkers, but he just did exactly what he needed to. He kept the Terran back. The big thing there is if you have less army supply than your opponent, but you have like a more mobile force like that, keeping your opponent from just hitting you right away, it's so crucial. And it's tough to do, but we see this with players like that just have a lot of lings too, just getting run bys or threatening the run bys, picking off reinforcements. The Blink Stalkers are really good at that. It's enough to put that point on the board for our Protoss as we get into game 2. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Alcyone, we have Natus Vincier's Spirit in the red. And his opponent in the blue. In the lower left for Blazer, it's Krystianer. I don't know, I think once upon a time, and by that I mean like, I don't know, a year ago, and pretty much at any point up until recently, Spirit would have been like the heavy favorite in this matchup. But I feel like more recently, Krystianer has, I don't know, I feel like he's done a lot better in this matchup more recently. Maybe that's just my limited experience watching these guys play against each other, but I think his ability to utilize the Blink Stalkers was very apparent in that game. His micro has leveled up a bit. Krystianer's a very strong player. But we'll see if he can take another game. This is a best of 5, so a lot of potential here for either player. Spirit going to drop the CC up on the high ground, just in case his opponent's doing something cheeky. Just to keep that SCV a little bit extra safe. Hey, Step Bro, can you teach me StarCraft? Listen, if there's one thing I can tell you, it's you do not want to learn StarCraft from me. There's a reason that I cast this game instead of playing this game. I mean, honestly, the reason is that I get really upset when I play this game, and that's not fun. So I prefer casting it, but yeah, I'm not very good. Not very good. So you know how there's like, when you're playing a game of StarCraft, you go into the game and you're like, okay, let me get my build order right. See, already step 1 I mess up is like, I don't really have a build order. I feel like if I ironed out a good build order in each matchup, I could probably get into Masters pretty quick. That sounds like a lot of work. Sounds like a lot of work. I don't know about you guys, but it's more fun to just wing it. Anytime I've had good build orders, like pretty solid build orders through to the mid game and a good sense of a matchup, I've done a lot better in StarCraft. I think the only time I was like really confident in a matchup was during the Void Ray meta of PvZ. I figured out how to macro up like to carriers and defend anything the Zerg could throw at me. I had like really solid build orders up until like the 10-minute mark. That's the only time that has ever been the case in my StarCraft career. Other than that, I'm usually like, yeah, these are the units the pro players make, right? This is what you do. Yeah, it turns out no, that's not how the pro players do it. They have like strict build orders. They know exactly how to do what they need to do. I know it's shocking. There's my hot tip if you're trying to learn StarCraft. Get a build order. We do have a cheeky Widowmine drop here from Spirit. Speaking of build orders, this is a pretty good one. But Krystianer are going to pull away. Shouldn't take too much damage here. 4 probes, actually, more than I had expected. Looks like there was some damage down here as well as the Reaper got in. Got a couple of kills. But, oh, the Medevac got killed as Blink finished up. So while that was decent initially, all of a sudden it becomes an excellent trade for Krystianer. Losing 4 probes there's not that big of a deal if you're able to kill the Medevac, both mines, and the Reaper. And his third base is about to finish as well. So now he's going to put a little pressure on with his Blink Stalker, see what's going on the other side of the map. Spirit, he's got a third Rax coming up. He's got an eBay coming up. No third CC here. Feels like he might have another 2-base push planned. You know, it's funny, speaking of build orders, actually, it's one of the most challenging things about playing like the new RTS games. We got Zero Space and Stormgate out, is that there's no build orders for either of them yet. And, ooh, Krystianer gonna dive on top of the tank, and even with the full surround of SCVs, he doesn't get the repair. Doesn't get enough repair, I should say. Krystianer able to kill the tank. Oh, that Stalker was supposed to blink off the cliff. Instead, it is gonna die. Krystianer getting the kill on that tank. It's pretty cute. Gets a few Marines as well before getting out of there. Not the best trade in the world for Krystianer, but again, he's got the third base, so it doesn't have to be like the perfect trade. And now he can harass with this Prism, be very annoying. There's the third CC, finally going down for Spirit. But yeah, in these new games, the lack of build orders, even when people like post build orders in the Discords and stuff, I like kind of don't trust them because the games are so new. Trying to figure out how to play in the new RTS games it's always a challenge. Krystianer being annoying here, getting a few SCV kills, not a ton. Just keeping the pressure onto Spirit. Trying to keep that unit count a little bit lower. In the meantime, he does have 4 gates finishing up. Charge is done. He's got +1 on the way, as well as the Robo Bay coming up. So heading towards either Colossi or Disruptors. Stalker's getting caught here. Krystianer will try to run away with them and pick off some units on the right-hand side. A lot of very low Marines here. Look at that target fire from Krystianer. Actually, I don't even know if he needed to target fire. Man, this micro is actually so sick from Krystianer right now. He's killing so many Marines. I think he did lose the Stalkers on the left-hand side, but he traded well enough on the right to make it worth it, even picking up that Adept to avoid the mine shot. And now, again, with this Prism here, Spirit, I feel like he wanted to pressure across the map, but he's focused on defending. And this is exactly, it feels so similar to last game in a way. He's like just keeping Spirit back. And even with just this minimal pressure, Krystianer's being allowed to macro on the other side of the map, right? He's just kind of chilling. He's got 2 Immortals out, a Colossus on the way. His +1 is almost done. Whereas Spirit, I feel like could have been across the map with a double drop of bio units had this Prism not continued to be annoying. Did Spirit just stim this group of units except the Marine and then stim that separately? Did that just happen? I feel like that just happened. Ooh, Widowmine drop gonna try to sneak out here. The Viking will push this Prism away. 1 Stalker gets dropped out, but then just recalls all of it to get it out of there. Thermal Lance on the way here for Krystianer. Now Spirit, he's falling behind a bit in that army supply. And that's feels like a bit of a problem for him. What's the tank count at right now? There's just the 1 siege tank. Doesn't have any Vikings. I don't know, man. This game is feeling pretty good for Krystianer. As I say that, 9 probes just went down to that Widow Mine drop. There's still another mine in here. Whoa, wait, what? 18? Oh, there was a double mine drop. And just like that, Krystianer definitely in a good spot, but all of a sudden loses 18 probes, doesn't kill like basically any of this, and oh no! The Widow Mine shoots again, as there was no detection over here. I think it actually killed a Stalker. And a bunch more probes, 5 more probes going down. Krystianer's now down 20 workers, and even though his 4th base is about to finish, oh, he's got to clean this up. God, 2 more probes going down. It's just unnecessary damage at this point. Krystianer going to get in here with a few Zealots, and at least get some amount of damage on the other side of the map. Not really comparable, 25-4, but better than nothing, maybe. It is double Robo now for Krystianer. It's definitely going to give Spirit a chance to catch up, though. That army supply, we see it now in favor of the Terran. He's got his 1-1 complete and starting up +2 attack. It looks like he only has 1 eBay right now, though. As this Prism will finally bite the dust. The Zealot's going to get cleaned up in the natural. Oh, no, as I say that, 2nd eBay starts up +2 armor. So Spirit is going to get the double upgrades going here and should be able to take a nice upgrade lead in the next couple of minutes. Both players getting towards maxed. It's funny, there hasn't really been like a main engagement yet. It's just been a lot of harassment this game. 35 probes have gone down. That's actually kind of insane, and Spirit still has the lead in the workers. Krystianer doesn't have a ton of vision on the map. He's got a very powerful army. He doesn't have a ton of vision. What is over here? It's just a zealot chilling right here next to this army. Looks like it is going to get cleaned up, but that's going to pull Krystianer over to this side. And Spirit, he's going to hit in both locations, it looks like. You know what? Krystianer is split really nicely for this, actually. Split pretty much perfectly. This can still be tough to handle, but with the Colossus on this side, handful of zealots, shield battery coming up, the main army is got to be careful not to move out of position, but just kind of testing each other right now. Spirit so far has traded a lot better, and he is still up in workers. There's no 5th base yet for Krystianer. The EMPs hit, the Disruptor Nova goes out. There's more Disruptor Novas behind that. Spirit needs to be a little careful pushing into this. He's going to send a few Marauders forward. Like the big blink there to kill the Viking. He gets it, so it was worth it. Spirit going to push in on this side as well. Hit some EMPs. Going to try to kite this army, but he's focused on this side of the map as well. Some Disruptor Novas going out as the Vikings doing a great job killing one of the Colossi. Marine's going to see this 5th base on the way for Krystianer. Spirit's got his own 5th CC going down as well. I don't know. I like this for Krystianer for a while, but after all those probes died, it felt like he lost whatever momentum he had. Now as the engagements happen, starting to like it a little bit better for Spirit. He does have lib range on the way as well. A bunch of ghosts coming out. He's got more bases on the way up. And now there's a double drop into the main base. Krystianer forced to recall some units in here. I assume he recalled this set of units, which is going to allow Spirit to lift up and now boost down, or slowly drift his way down towards this base, which Krystianer is going to have a tougher time defending. But Krystianer is pushing at the same time, sending some Novas forward. It looks like he will have enough to clean this up. No Stalkers, or very few Stalkers, so the medevacs can stay alive. Krystianer backs up. He lost the Colossi over here. It's just the Disruptors, the Blink Stalkers, and the Immortals now. Drop in the main is getting some damage done. Some Stalkers warp in to help push them out. Ooh, big hit there. A few Disruptor Novas connecting for Krystianer. Not too many massive connections, but just a few that are a little bit bigger than I think Spirit was hoping for. But he does catch a Disruptor. Catches, I think, 2 Disruptors on the retreat. There's only 2 Marauders left in this. Spirit taking his 5th base, heading down there. Krystianer's 5th is done, but it's not mining just yet. He's going to try to push through this middle one more time. See if he can get some more big Disruptor Novas. Krystianer is ahead in the army supply. He's only at 61 workers, but he is maxed. Whoa, the Disruptor's getting jumped on, but there's so many Novas that a few of them connect, and that might be enough. The Liberators are now on their own, and Spirit tried to jump on top of this, but Krystianer's reinforcements were just too much. Too many Novas, and now the Colossi are here as well. The Stalkers blinking on top of the Planetary, and in just a moment, Spirit loses so much of his army. He's going to drop back in, but it's just 2 Marauders. Who cares? Spirit, he's got nothing back at home. He's on 50 army supply. The 1 tank is not enough. And I think Krystianer is about to go up 2-0 in this series. There's the GG. Oh my God. Spirit was, I want to say, ahead for so much of that game. And then in just a flash, I think he wasn't expecting those reinforcement Disruptors. It was like 4 Disruptors and 2 Colossi reinforcing the army. Krystianer, all of a sudden, his army became twice as good. Right as Spirit stimmed and went in to get some kills. And I think Spirit's game plan was just focus down the Disruptors. There was only like 4 in the army. He could have done it. But just some unfortunate timing there. There's too many Disruptor Novas. The panic Novas from Krystianer end up holding on in that fight, and then I mean, after that, the momentum, able to just take it. He had that killer instinct. He was like, I just killed your whole army. Actually, I'm pretty sure I can go win this game right now. And suddenly we have what to many might feel like a bit of a surprise, but I don't know. It's kind of what I was saying before. I think the role reversal here has begun. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Hard Lead, we have Navi's Spirit, currently down 0-2 against his countrymate. In the lower right for Blazer, it is Krystianer. I feel like there was a Polish tournament recently, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be making that up. I was just wondering if these guys had like been practicing for something recently. Obviously we've got I Am Katowice coming up, so that's a possibility. That is a Polish tournament, so that might count. But all right, game number 3 here. Now, Spirit started off fairly aggressive. Game one was like a 2-base all in, but even game 2, he had a lot of army early on that he just didn't get like anything done with. He got nothing done with that army that he had early on. So it makes me wonder, like, should Spirit go for a quick 3CC or something? But on the other side of things, Krystianer went for a 4-gate blink in game 1. While he did expand, I think if he was up against a quicker 3rd CC from Spirit, he might not have gone for an expansion. Might have gone for the aggression instead. So it's a tough thing to know here if you're in Spirit's shoes, what the right call is going to be. So far, Krystianer has shown that he's very adept at dealing with being down in army supply, utilizing those blink stalkers to try to keep the Terran back, pick off Marines here and there, but really it's just about buying time, right? The more time you can buy, then you can get into charge, you can warp in more units back at home, maybe get shield batteries, just keep the tech and the unit production going, and all of a sudden that army supply lead from the Terran doesn't feel like quite as much of an army supply lead. Nice Reaper Grenade there. When they plan out the Reaper Grenade for when the Adept Shade comes in. Fun little back and forth. Spirit going for a second Reaper. Feels like the Adept knew that was coming. There's a Stalker coming down as well. The Adept won't be on its own for very long. These Reapers, despite chipping the shields off of a pylon, really not going to get any damage done here. Spirit going to hop into the main base, see what's going on. Maybe he can get a probe kill. He gets a probe kill. Can he get 2? He gets the Reaper Grenade at least. Oh, look at the pylon block. That's a hot pylon block from Krystianer. But oh no, the Cyclone getting 4 probe kills in the meantime. Or I guess it got 2 kills and the Reapers got the other ones. Robo goes down on the front. Cyclone being annoying. I like this from Spirit. I feel like this is a better way to open against somebody like Krystianer. Just kind of do the opposite of what I was saying, right? Slow down the Protoss. Be annoying with the Reapers and the Cyclone. Krystianer is going to push this away. He's going to try to stop and body block the Cyclone. Actually, really nice body blocking, and that is going to allow the Stalkers to finish it off. Beautifully done there by Krystianer. But now there's Cloaked Banshees on the way. Going to be fun stuff here. Krystianer drops 2 more gates. This is looking like another 4-gate blink. Now again, he expanded in game 1 off the back of this, but if he smells blood in the water, he could just go full all in on it. And try to catch Spirit with his pants down. Cloak Banshees can be very good. They can kill a lot of probes, but if there's just like an observer across the map with a bunch of blink stalkers, these Banshees suddenly become really bad. They're not great against blink stalkers. And here's the Prism from Krystianer. It does look like he's going to take a third. Oh, does this pylon block the third? It's close, but it looks like the answer is not quite. It's close, though. As it feels dangerously close to blocking the third base to me. I always feel like you should just space it like one more out, you know, just in case. But I guess he's good enough. He knows. Stalker's going to go in. They blink. Oh, no, actually, they just walk forward. They're going to be able to kill this bunker even through the repair. Blink back against the tank, which is way over here. So Krystianer going to take that opportunity and start killing some stuff on this side. A few SCVs going down. Gas falling. The Marine does scout the third base starting up. So Spirit knows that there is a third base, but it's only just started. And there's a lot of Stalker potential here out of Krystianer. The tanks moving around a little bit, maneuvering. One on the ramp, one in the mineral line. Krystianer with that third on the way doesn't need to get a ton of damage done. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Here we go. This is what we've been waiting for. These Banshees are going to come in and get just 9, 10 workers. There's a shield battery here to heal up some of these probes at least. Good pullback there from Krystianer. The Observer struggling to keep up with the Banshee. But 11 probes going down, and while Krystianer got some damage done over here, it was not nearly that much. And in the meantime, he just pulled everything home. So even this Prism started coming home to try to defend. Oh man, and the Banshee, again, just being as annoying as is physically possible. Stalkers at the front getting hit. The main base doesn't seem particularly exposed right now. I feel like you just got to leave a couple Stalkers on each side here for that Banshee. Spirit's got a lot of bio. This War Prism needs to be really careful. Ah. All right, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And it's a Templar Archives this time from Krystianer as the tech of choice. So it seems Charge-Led Archon's going to be the way to go. But Spirit, he's got a lot of stuff. He's got a third CC on the way. He's going to siege up here and push this army back with some stim bio. Stalkers, again, very good at just kind of picking off units and poking and prodding at this. But Krystianer losing a couple of Stalkers here. And oof, loses another one to that siege tank. I like how we went back in for just the one hit on that Marine. The Prism is still here. Could be annoying for Spirit, who doesn't really have much to defend except the one turret. Stalkers, again, wrap around. They're going to try to pick off some of these reinforcements, but that's going to leave the third extremely exposed. There's like no units here. There's no recall available, and Spirit, he's in the third. He's killing whatever is here. This base is taking a lot of damage. He's going to target it down, gun it down, and suddenly Krystianer in some trouble. He's supply blocked right now, actually. Charge is not done yet. He's losing all of the probes that were at the third base as well as the base itself. And while he might be able to clean this up, he should be able to clean this up. Spirit could also just lift up in the medevacs and boost away. That's exactly what he's going to do. The siege tanks are going to go down, but more damage is going to be done. And here the Banshee even coming in to help out. So many probes going down. And Krystianer, he is in an abysmal spot. He's going to pick off one of these medevacs, but it was all Zealots warped into the main base. No Stalkers, so the medevacs should be able to get away. And now Krystianer, I think he's got really one thing he can do, which is counterattack and just go completely all in. And I think as long as Spirit defends this, he should be totally fine. The double drop over here is the insurance policy. Yeah, this is about it for Krystianer. Bunker going down, but it's not quite done yet. Krystianer is going to start diving in. Stalker's just trying to pick off some units here. Bait the Widow Mines out. Oh, man, but this is so much bio out of Spirit. And Stalker's dying, and the Prism's going to die, and the double drop came in, and GG gets called. Spirit puts a point on the board. Doesn't want to let this go and be a 3-0. That's good. We don't want to see a 3-0. So now we can get into game 4. Let's see if the reverse sweep happens. Or if he can close it out in the lower right-hand corner of Site Delta. In the blue, we have Blazers Krystianer. His opponent in the upper left is none other than Navi's Spirit. I was hoping it wouldn't be a 3-0. I wasn't really expecting a 3-0. It does happen from time to time. Spirit able to pull it back. Give us a good game there. And it really was those Banshees. Those cloaked Banshees really did it to Krystianer. He's all the way across the map with all of his stalkers. Spirit able to defend back at home with the tanks in the bio. Just get 11 probe kills across the map. Beautifully done. Yeah, Krystianer's looked really, really solid recently. Hoping to see more from him. I haven't checked out what I Am Katowice is looking like. In terms of like who's playing and what the group stage looks like. Yeah, it doesn't look like Krystianer made it in, unfortunately. Spirit is in there, though, to represent Poland. Oh, you know what? I did see these groups. Oh, there's going to be some crazy groups. The thing about I Am Katowice is I feel like the groups are always just insane. All right. Sorry. I'm looking away from the game to see what I Am Katowice is shaping up to be. That's in 2 weeks. World Championships. StarCraft 2. Spirit going for a Hellion this game. So the double Reaper Hellion action. I'm going to try to keep that pressure on. The probe did scout the Hellion. It has made its way completely into the base. It looks like a Widowmine drop. Excuse me, jeez. Widowmine drop follow-up. Oh, yeah. It's not a global finals this time? People are saying that. Is that true? Is that how that is going to work? I mean, what's the global finals like? Whew, Spirit coming in, getting 5 kills. And still has these 2 Reapers alive. The SE, or the probes, rather, are going to get pulled here. That's going to mean 6, 7 kills? Reaper grenades. Bobbing those probes a little bit more. That's a lot of damage early on here for Spirit. All before the Twilight Council even goes down. Eesh. Very painful. But Twilight Council is much later because it was a Stargate opener for Krystianer. So let's see if this Oracle can get some damage done. Nice little Widowmine attempt there out of Spirit. Those cheeky mines out on the map can catch a lot of stuff. The Oracle's going to get in here. It should be able to win this fight, but I don't think it's going to have much juice left to kill workers. That being said, hold on. It's got like 30 energy left. It's going to go down to the Cyclone, though, before it can get too much damage done. Looks like Krystianer is going to try to take his 3rd base as Blink starts up. Your guess is BlizzCon? Oh, dude. I would not hold my breath for BlizzCon for having SC2 at it, honestly. I would love that. That would be super sick to see BlizzCon be good again. But I wouldn't count on it. Really, really wouldn't count on it, especially with the massive layoffs that just happened. But yeah, I don't know. I certainly don't have any more information than you guys. I haven't even really been keeping up with it. We don't really know what StarCraft's going to look like in 2024 for the most part. Liberator, though, going to get some damage done. I mean, he gets one probe before the Stalkers get in. Should be able to finish it off. Ooh, actually, they SimCity themselves out of a kill there. But unfortunate for Krystianer. But his third base is about to finish up. Gonna have to pump some probes out. Singular Widow Mine in this medevac, but one Widow Mine, sometimes it's all you need. The Protoss isn't fully paying attention, but he's gonna pull those probes. Gets the medevac. 2 probes do go down, but not too bad. Meanwhile, Spirit does not have a third CC. No third command center just yet. 6 minutes in. Does have Stim combat shields and +1 on the way, though. So big power spike in terms of the army coming soon. 2 medevacs about to pop. Those are going to be pretty crucial to help out against the Stalkers that are coming across the map. Stalker's going to try to bust this bunker. They might be able to get it. Yeah, it looks like they will grab it. Or piecing out of there. Yeah, just to continue on some of the like StarCraft and 2024 stuff. We do have at least one ESL event after Katowice. We have DreamHack Dallas. Which is going to be at the end of May, early July. That's our last confirmed ESL StarCraft event. As Krystianer recalls here and sends this medevac back to the corner. Back to the shadows. I wouldn't be too surprised to see Gamers 8 named as like the World Championships. Yeah. But that seems to be the direction we're heading. Finally, one Widow Mine does get off. A second Widow Mine drop trying to get off as well, and it will grab a few probes before getting killed. These two get picked up. Cannon is finished. They're going to head towards the main base. USMC Vet Gamer, thanks for the raid, buddy. I hope your games went well. These Widow Mines not getting a ton of damage. 8 kills in total is pretty nice for Spirit, especially since this cannon only just started. I think these will get another shot off. Krystianer going to have to be careful. That actually caused him some damage last game. Not paying attention to those while the cannon was on the way. He's pull the probes. Pull the probes. Pull the probes. No. Oh, he's focused on the micro. Only 6 more kills, but still, they're not necessary. They didn't need to happen. Krystianer just letting it go. In the meantime, he is getting into the Colossi again. He's got a lot of charge lots here. The Stalkers being annoying, picking off a few SCVs, grabbing a Marine, piecing out. Any free damage he can get here is good because Spirit is up quite a bit of army supply. He's ahead a full upgrade as his +1 armor is finishing up and +1 attack is close here for Krystianer, but not quite done. And the Colossi, I think there's one Colossus out, but that is it for Krystianer. He's not really ready for a fight just yet, but Spirit is coming. He is already on Krystianer's side of the map. Krystianer needs to group his stuff together, maybe hang out by a shield battery. Because there's a lot of bio outside his door. Spirit, he senses he's ahead, and he's going to go for, oh my god, the EMP is huge. Some force fields are still able to drop. Where are the Stalkers? The super shield battery turns on, but all of the Zealots are going to go down. Oh no, these Colossi, they're short range, and now they're all alone. The shield battery taken out, and I think that's just going to be it. It looks like we're going to a game number 5, boys and girls. Spirit tying the series up He has found the weakness of Krystianer. I think that weakness was there in game 2 as well, but Spirit wasn't able to capitalize on it in that game. However, in game 4, he found it and he went for it. He got it. That's going to bring you to game 5. We're going to Gressvan. It's the cool thing about the OSC World Championships and in general the tournaments they've been running for the last couple of years. They've been expanding the map pool a few maps. So we have some of these maps in here that we don't really see anywhere else because they haven't been here since the last season. Well, here we are on Gressvan in game number 5, match point. And in the upper left-hand corner, we have Blazer's Krystianer, this time in the red. And his opponent in the lower right for Na'Vi, it's Spirit trying to complete the reverse sweep. Now, these guys are in the lower bracket, so these are elimination matches we have going on right now. As Krystianer fell to max packs in the round of 8 upper bracket. And now, well, they're fighting for their lives in this tournament. I think they are already in the, is it like 11th to 14th? Yeah, so they're already guaranteed. Sorry, trying to figure out how much. $98.61 American, or $150 Aussie dollary days. So even losing, they make a decent chunk of change. But I'm sure they'd like to win and move on and get further on in the tournament. Reminder, if you guys want to support this tournament, you like these players, you like these games that we've got going on today, and there's already been like over 100 games, I think, in this tournament. All of them casted, and there's still more to come. Please consider supporting. The exclamation mark support take you to Indiegogo for the tournament. If you want to support OSC and keep this grassroots StarCraft going. Like we said, we don't really know what StarCraft is going to look like in 2024 and beyond. The grassroots is the way to go. It's what we need. Without the community-funded events, we literally won't have anything at some point. At some point, whatever those big main tournaments are might stop. They could end. And we're going to need funding to keep things alive. It's also really good for some of those players that maybe aren't the top 8 in the world. Players like Krystianer and Spirit. You know, they need these events to keep them fed and housed. Fractal, you did get a gift sub. It's true. It's true. We are on match 3 of 5 for the day. Still a couple matches after this. So don't worry. If you just got here, there's plenty more StarCraft. And if you want to watch what has happened already, I will be posting on YouTube the videos of the last 2 matches that we cast with Dave. It's also just available Twitch VOD. Do not have my VODs locked behind being a subscriber. Actually, no, you have to subscribe to watch them. It's not true, but maybe if I say that, somebody will subscribe. Lying for subs, just like every good content creator. This is kind of cute. So Spirit going for some Hellions. He's got the proxy starport. We don't see this all that often, and I feel like every time I've seen it recently, it's been up against a Phoenix opener. But this game, Krystianer, he's just going for Blink Stalkers. He does have some units in position, but that's not going to be enough to really stop this. He's just got to start working on the Hellions early to try to minimize the damage, but already 6 probes going down. And they're getting a little roasty toasty here. Some nice hot pickups as he gets 7 probes, keeps 2 Hellions alive in that medevac, which is going to stay back here and threaten Krystianer in the future. A little surprised he's not building anything else out of this starport. I feel like you could build like a Liberator or something and keep being annoying. But Spirit just going to pull it back. Get into his extra barracks, get some tanks out. Krystianer going for the third. Oh, wow. And going straight for a Forge and a Robo Bay. So he's just going to attack right up before Blink is even done getting that Robo Bay going. So this is a bit of a change up for Krystianer. In the last game and in game 2 when he did get the tech going, the Robo Bay I think was after charge he put that down. So it was much later than this. And he had like a bunch of gateways cooking, but we saw last game that didn't really work out for him. And I feel like this game he wants to get into quicker splash damage, get into those Colossi a bit quicker, maybe get Thermal Lance on them before any attack comes out of Spirit. And I like that change up from Krystianer, adjusting based on what his opponent's been kind of doing to him. Smart play. Spirit side of things, it is looking pretty much exactly the same as what we've seen in a lot of these games so far. See if he's able to put any pressure on it at some point. The Observer just going to go hang out by this medevac. Just like, hey, what are you doing up here, bud? Just keeping an eye on you. Don't worry about it. I'm invisible. You can't see me. So you just go ahead and do whatever you want. If you want to try to go back in there and get some probe kills, you just let me know. I like how, just want to give props to the like rendering engine here. The shadow of the medevac is shimmering under the water. That's pretty incredible. That's like one of those details that doesn't really feel necessary. And it's really not necessary, but it's kind of cool. Because of the way the water is moving, we get the shadow of the medevac shimmering. Good job, StarCraft engine. Way to go. In the meantime, Krystianer poking with some of these Blink Stalkers, but Spirit's got the push coming. His third base is coming behind this, but this is what the Colossus is for. It's to help out against this kind of push. Thermal Lance pretty far away from being done. Charge is close, as is +1. Whoop, Spirit going to stim forward a little bit before that's ready. Shield Battery healing this up. Stalker's going to try to bait out that Widowmine shot. They do a good job. This base taking a lot of damage, though. Krystianer, ooh, I think he's got to go take a fight soon. Trying not to overcommit to this fight. He's got to be so careful. These tanks doing so much damage from the low ground. Army split a little bit here, but it looks like Krystianer will be able to clean it up. Keeps the base alive, only loses 4 probes. And pushes Spirit's army back. Looked a little dicey there for a second, but it seems all right. And in this game, Krystianer, because of his Forge being a bit earlier, he's actually on even footing on upgrades. He's going to start up +1 armor pretty much at the same time as Spirit. So I don't hate this game for Krystianer right now. But Spirit's got a third base done. He's going to go back home, chill, mine. He's actually up a couple of workers against the Protoss, which is a nice spot to be in. Ooh, and he's already got Ghosts coming out. The early Ghost here for Spirit. I guess they're not that early, but it's always a nice move, getting those Ghosts out. A couple Vikings coming out as well. We saw in game 2 that even just like a few Vikings was able to do a really good job against the Colossi of Krystianer. Well, those Vikings are not here just yet, and it looks like Krystianer wants to put some pressure on. He's got a Warp Prism with this. He's got 3 Colossi. Thermal Lance is now done. And this is going to hit before +1 armor is ready for Spirit, so that slight upgrade lead he might have for a little bit. That's not even going to be able to happen right now. Oh, some Zealots coming in from the top side, actually, trying to corner this army. It's a nice move from Krystianer. Spirit's going to pull back and avoid the surround for now. As the Colossi getting hit by the Vikings, actually quite a few Vikings here, more than I'd expected. Some SCVs falling, but another Colossus is going to go down. No hot pickup in the Prism. There's only 1 Colossus for splash damage right now. And I feel like Krystianer's army isn't looking quite as scary as it once was, but Spirit has no healing. That's a huge stim. A lot of this army is super low. The Colossi and Stalkers pulling back as the Vikings are going to, not quite finish off that Colossus. There's that hot pickup. Some probes are going down here, but it looks like whatever it was cleaned up. Colossus going to push forward again. Got a lot of splash damage done on this, but it gets taken out. It's just Blink Stalkers left now. As more Zealots try to warp in. 19 SCVs have fallen. It's a really nice amount of damage for Krystianer, but the army supply is still heavily in favor of Spirit. Medevacs are out now, so this army can start to get healed up, and I think that's going to make it a lot harder for Krystianer to take these fights. I think he has to pull back. Oh, but Krystianer, in the meantime, he's got this 4th base up and running. He's ahead quite a few workers, obviously, because he killed like 20 SCVs. But he's only at 65 probes. I feel like he could be a little bit higher than that. He's got a lot of army back at home, too, as he's building more Colossi, trying to get those out. Just the Stalkers roaming around on the map. Attempted Widowmine drop, not going to get too much done here. As Krystianer misses that blink by just a little second there, and ooh, Spirit gonna catch him in the middle of the map. Picks off a lot of Blink Stalkers there. Krystianer needs to bring the rest of his army up here as Spirit is pushing on this 4th base. But Zealots and Colossi coming in now. Spirit needs to be a bit careful here. There's a lot of army collapsing on top of him. He might be able to kill the Stalkers. But the Zealots and Colossi do make this a lot more complicated. It's a bit of an awkward engagement for Krystianer, though, as he's ringing around the Rosie with this bio army. Spirit can run away and stim and kite for a while, but he can't really do it forever. The blink underneath the medevacs, only one left alive. I think most of this army for Spirit is about to go down. And not the most efficient trade in the world. The medevac lives. Somehow this medevac lives. Krystianer ends up 30 supply ahead. Spirit does not have a 4th base yet. Well, I guess I lied. He's got a 4th CC. He's going to go take that 4th base. Only on 55 SCVs. I guess with the amount of mineral patches that are mined out, that'll be okay. But Krystianer's got a 5th started up. I feel like he's in a good spot. He does have some probes down here for no reason. But he's going to push in here. +2 attack is about to finish for Spirit. We'll give him a slight upgrade lead for like 30 seconds before that +2 armor finishes up. But the 3 Colossi don't have much of an answer right now. The Colossi, or the Marauder, is going to stim forward. The Stalkers and Zealots are there just in case that happens. Fourth base is a little cut off from the rest, but looks like Krystianer is going to try to send some Zealots into the 3rd. There is a bunker here, but that's not going to last very long against this army. Down it goes. There's so many Zealots here. The Prism, Spirit was going for the Prism. He didn't realize how far back it was, though. He comes back into fight, but now he's in such an awkward position. The Zealot's getting great surface area, and Spirit has nowhere left to run. He's trying to bust out of here. Krystianer is forced to pull back, but with 4 Colossi, these Vikings have their work cut out for them. There's only a couple Vikings here. The 2 Colossi are super low. Looks like they will finally go down. There it goes. But 19 more SCVs falling. The 3rd base has been routed. And Spirit, he's on his last legs here. He's trying to stay alive. A bunch more Stalkers show up, though. And I feel like even if these Colossi die, this army of Krystianer is so big and so scary. Colossi still just poking and prodding. A few more Vikings coming out, more ghosts coming out. Another Colossus walks across the battlefield, though. Krystianer realizes the 4th base is here. He's going to try to get on it. He will kill it, but at the expense of 2 Colossi dying before this fight. But is it worth it still for Krystianer? I think the answer is yes. The army supplies are very similar, but Krystianer can afford to trade much more easily than Spirit can. And as more Zealots warp in, and the kiting is still trying to happen here. The medevacs are getting killed. which makes every stim so painful. And the Zealots getting on top of that Bio Army. GG gets called. Krystianer closes it out, stops the reverse sweep from happening, and he will be the Polish player moving on in this part of the bracket. GG.